What's up? Welcome back to another episode. Today, I'm going to be talking about successful habits that can help you in your life. Now, in today's episode, this is where I hop on the mic and just discuss things that I'm passionate about, things that I think could help, things that I found mentally give me that extra edge. And that's what we're focused on today. I'm your host, Matty McCurdy. You're listening to the Matty McCurdy program. Before we get started, this podcast, this show is sponsored and represented by Surmount Global Foundation. Surmount Global Foundation is a nonprofit focused on helping young adults find resiliency and learn resiliency principles in their life and become more successful. So you can imagine why we've partnered together, as this podcast is all about helping young people of all ages, find ways to become more successful and build mentalities and mindsets to help them become who they want to be and who they can be and find their potential in life. So today, let's dive right into it. The first habit of successful people is setting clear and specific goals. When you have a clear vision of what you want to achieve, it's easier to make a plan to get there, right? So take some time in your daily life to write down goals and make goals. Because if we never make goals, it really doesn't matter because we're not going to be able to focus on them. I was in a rut the past month or so, and I couldn't figure out why. And this past week I just figured it out, especially as I was writing this. I realized that I'd been on some trips, kind of gone out my routine, and what ended up happening is I stopped writing down my daily goals and what I was going to work on each and every day. And I didn't realize how big of an impact that made. So now that every night before I go to bed, I get on my computer and I type out kind of what my to-do list is for the next day and put my goals on the table or on the computer, right? On the metaphoric table, right? My daily table. And it's much easier. I wake up, I have a clear picture and vision of what my day should look like and what I should be doing, and it makes everything a lot easier. So that's tip number one. Make sure you write down goals. And I'll add, make sure they're specific and measurable and achievable. Because if you put something like, fly to the moon, I'm going to do that tomorrow. Well, unless you're, an astronaut in training, your launch date is actually tomorrow, I wouldn't put that down on the chart because you're not going to achieve that. So now, lifelong goal, maybe. But for right off the bat, maybe make them more achievable to what you're really doing. Let's see. Number 2 is keep taking action towards your goals. This goes hand in hand with what we just mentioned. It's not enough to just write down a goal. If you never do anything about it, then it's pointless. So take action, make it happen. Identify steps that you need to take to make it happen, and really dive right in and go at it. And don't waste your time because and that's why you want to make your goals achievable, right? Because if you don't make them achievable, you aren't going to take action towards them, and then you're just going to feel like a failure because you didn't get anything accomplished. All right, the next one is persistence. Now, I think we all know that achieving anything is going to take time, and it's not always going to happen right off the bat, right? It's gonna be harder than we think. Sometimes we wish that it would be easier and that we could just make it happen, get it done, but that's not always the case. But that doesn't mean we should give up. That doesn't mean that our goals and our passions and our ideas aren't worth pursuing, even if they don't work out the first or second or third time, or however many times it takes. I think there's that common example about the light bulb and how many times it took to get it right and figure it out. But just for example, I've been working on a project recently, probably a project for the past like three and a half years actually, where it's been this educational program for young adults, and to train them on how to do certain aspects of what they're accomplishing, of this, the education's around what they're specifically doing. But it's taken, 3.5 years to really get it off the ground, make it happen, make it move. And there's been little wins here and there. But overall, there's been aspects where I really thought, man, this can't be happening. This doesn't make any sense. Why is it taking so long? we should have been where we wanted to be by now. And so, it would have been really easy to just give up and move on with something else. But sometimes we think that moving on to something else is going to make it easier, make it better. Truth be told is something else just means you're probably going to take more time unless you got it in the bag, and it's like, but nothing worth pursuing is ever going to be easy, right? So, usually just moving on to something new isn't always the best course. It's just going to take longer. It's always easy to think the grass is greener somewhere else, but it's not usually. And so anyways, this project I've been working on, I was only supposed to be in it for, about a year, and then it became 2 years, and I felt like I should continue pursuing on it. Then those 2 years came, and it became, now 3 years, and now almost 3.5. And every time I thought to myself, man, like should I jump ship? Should I move on? Should I let this kind of idea, this vision, this dream die? This goal that I had. And every time I got down to it, I felt like, no, I need to be persistent and keep going. And you know what? It's paid off. It's making progress. And sometimes I can be short-sighted. I think we all can on what we're working on. But don't let that short-sightedness, don't let that impatience, those things, that boil up inside of us when we're not feeling like we're getting where we want. We're not having that progress and not feeling that happiness from the progress that we want to see. Don't let that deter us from really getting where we want to go, because jumping ship too early can really affect who we want to be and what we want to be. So really stick in there, be persistent, and make it count. You've already put in so much effort and hard work already. Why stop now? The next one is for habits of successful people is always being willing to learn and improve and grow. Constant growth. I can't remember where I read it, but there's a study where it showed two types of people, and one with a growth mindset and the other with a fixed mindset, and showing people's success and happiness, and showing that those who had a growth mindset were far more happy, far more passionate and excited about life, and just the benefits were really cool. I can't remember the details exactly, but it's important to have a growth mindset. It's important to have a mindset that's always learning and always wanting to grow and become something better. And that doesn't mean that we need to down on ourselves. Sometimes we can be so focused on improvement that we can't see the good about ourselves or others or what we're doing. So don't be that way, still see the good, but always be looking to become something better, become something greater, because that's what life's about. It's about growing. I love the phrase, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. I'm not always the best at it, but I've noticed that, oftentimes the destination is never as good as what we thought. It was actually the journey getting there that was the good part. And sometimes we choose to not like the journey, and we get to the destination and are disappointed, wishing we would have enjoyed the journey a little bit more. So enjoy the journey, and have fun with it, and make it worthwhile, because that's the part that counts. And keep growing. The fifth habit is a positive mindset. And once again, that ties right into what I was just saying about the journey. There's two ways to look at it, right? You can either see all the good that's going on and the growth and the potential and the positives, or you can sit and focus on all the things that aren't happening. And there's always going to be one. There's always going to be both. I've spent a lot of time in projects I'm working on seeing the things to fix, because you got to focus on some of that. That's how you grow, because you got to see it. But if you focus too much on it, you're going to drive people away. You're going to drive yourself away. You're going to make things a lot harder for yourself. So by keeping a positive mindset, you're going to be in a much better state to make decisions. I believe it's Tony Robbins who talks a lot about positive mindset, and how when we're frustrated, when we're angry, when we're discouraged, we can't make clear decisions. We can't think clearly and make decisions that will impact us in a positive direction. And by having a change of mindset and focusing on the positivity and the growth and all the good, we'll be ready to make those positive decisions that will steer us forward. And he points out how, boosting our testosterone levels will and our endorphins and all those different things in our brain that make us confident and happy, and will help us make good, confident decisions. And if we're in a negative mindset, that's not going to happen, because we're not going to have those endorphins and those, that dopamine and testosterone and all those things that help us be confident and make wise choices. So that's very, very important. All right. And the final habit, the last and final habit, is taking care of yourself. If you're not taking time for you, if you're not putting in the time for yourself, if you're not giving yourself the attention it needs to be successful, then nothing's going to matter. I've been hanging out and I've had a few times where I've been out late, just grinding, working all day and then not getting to bed on time, not really taking care of my needs. And it definitely takes an effect. I don't know about other people, but I sometimes forget to eat, forget to sleep, forget to do the little things that make the big difference. And it's always the little things when it comes to taking care of yourself. Usually, sometimes we overcomplicate. We think it's something major, but, it's taking time to, the little things, right? Write down a list of my goals to ponder, meditate, think on the day, think through what I'm going to do that day, to get good rest, to eat food and not wait until I'm, super hungry to think about it. Drink water, right? Exercise a little bit. It's those little things that make the big difference in our lives. And it's those little things built up over time consistently that really help us be dangerous in the game of success, right? Make us lethal out there in whatever we're pursuing. And so you got to take time for yourself. You got to take time to take care of the body, the soul, the mind, all the different aspects that make you a powerful individual and make you exactly who you need to be. If you do these things, I can guarantee you're going to feel a lot more success. You're going to feel happiness, because when you see progress, I love this phrase that someone told me once, happiness comes when you're seeing progress. It's the progress that leads you to happiness. It's not necessarily reaching the destination or, doing that one thing that made it all happen. Sometimes we're chasing happiness, but in reality, it's seeing progress that makes us happy. When you can see progress in your life, when you can see things working and taking action and moving, that's when you find happiness, because you see the success, you see it's working. And I promise, if you follow these habits, you put them into your life, I know they sound simple, I know some of them sound stupid, but if you do them, they're going to make a big difference. And like I said, the little things are what really count. So put in the effort, build the habits. If you slip up, if you don't get one of them down, try again, and just every single day, plug away at them. Try to add one in, a new one every single day, and eventually you're going to be killing it in whatever you're trying to do. So get out there, make it happen, and live a successful and happy life.